Hello everyone, welcome to MySQL. Let's learn SQL. SQL means Structured Query Language, also known as SQL. Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel MySQL. I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. For learning SQL tutorial, we can choose like one of the database like SQLite, MySQL, Oracle SQL and all. So, but I would actually prefer to do all these learning lessons on using MySQL. So let me try first install setup for MySQL. So let's launch the Google through your browser and then type MySQL. You could see my screen. Yeah, the first link that appears as MySQL, right? MySQL is like open source relational database management system. Okay, so this is being built using the C++ languages, surprisingly. Okay, as you know, Oracle Corporation is like a major contributor for this MySQL. It is under GPLBT license. Okay, operating system support is like a Linux, Solaris, Mac, Windows. That means mostly like all the well-known OS platforms has MySQL support. Think about that way. So let's click on the first link, MySQL. Great. So you could see mysql.com is an website, right? So where is my downloaders? Click on downloaders. Great. So next scroll down a little bit. Then you see here MySQL community GPL downloads. Let's navigate to this link. So click one more time using your mouse. Do you see here? MySQL installer for Windows is what we would need it, because I have my work system is like a Windows based system, so I would want it to actually installer for Windows is what I would like to download. Let's click on here. It pops up one more window. MySQL installer 8.0.39 is the current version when I was trying to install in my system. So you would be seeing like a different version based out of the timeline. What I would do here, I could actually go to the MSI installer. This supports both 32-bit and 64-bit. Let's download this one. All right, you don't require to log in if you don't need to, but all you have to do is like thanks, just automatically to start downloading. So once it gets downloaded, you could see that downloaded file on your download folder. So it takes a little while. If you could see it is still processing. All right, so in a minute I think it should be ready. Here you go. Great. So you have downloaded. On downloading MySQL installer community version, right? So you could see that downloaded file on your download folder of your system. So I can see in my screen MySQL installer community of this version .msi. When I was trying to install in my system, this is a version that is available. So probably you could see like a little variant. Let's not surprise, but let me double click on this name to kickstart my installer. MySQL installer pop-up window asking permission. No problem, I can choose yes here. Then great. So I could see MySQL installer with the options given. So we have a server only, client only, full version and custom version. So okay, let's choose a custom version. What we are trying to do here is like a click on next. Then you see a MySQL server, applications and documentation. So what do you want? So you want server version. So just navigate a little level down. You could see all the MySQL server versions that are available. Choose the latest version which is in the top and then move to the right. what are the components that are to be installed, you should actually manually move them here. Do you see now? Beautiful. So minimize the server part. Now go to the applications where I can see MySQL Workbench and then shell. The router is not required now, but let's choose the Workbench. Okay, so the latest version of the Workbench is what I can choose. Great, that is done. Now you can see shell, MySQL shell. Alright, so you can also choose the latest version. That's nice. Very good. Now click on next. So these are the three components that you chosen for installation. So let's execute to getting these components installed in your system. Let me click on execute. So now you see the progress of installation. MySQL server installation is in progress. You can also see the progress of installation. The number is keep increasing, adding up to 100%, 84, 88, 89, 90%, 19. Great. So I kicked off a second component to be installed. It is now in process of installing. You could see the change in percentage, adding up to 100 to complete the installation of Workbench. $89, $99. Sooner that installation is going to complete. Great. So installation of Workbench is also done. Now shell is getting installed. You can see the progress of installation. Alright, so all these components you see here, status showed as a complete. So we are good. Installation is completed for the components that you chosen, called as the product. Next, go ahead and click on next. Right, it is the product configuration, that you can see here. Okay, click on next. Beautiful. So do you see now the TCP/IP port is like what it shows like a 3306. Let's not change. Note it down if you wanted to record, but this is like a very commonly used port by the MySQL installer. Okay, let me click on next. So yeah, you have to choose authentication password. That is mandate for us. Let's choose this is kind of like an admin password for your system. Okay, since this database is you are installing in your system, so it's okay to actually share the password, for instance, in the training point of view, but preferably not to actually share the passwords, right? That is you have to make a note of it. Alright, I have chosen a password which I entered, and then I repeated the same password. So it won't mean like password strength is kind of like a medium. Probably you could actually choose all rules for actually getting this strong password, but for now I think it is okay. So let me go to the next. Okay, Windows server name is MySQL 80 is what it shows. Let that go because that's the version I think that is what we installed. Okay, move on to next and execute all the commands. So upon installation successful, you could see the mark as like the green tick mark, so which means like the success, this portion of the configuration is done. The rest of all other components are getting configured. So let's see, starting the server, applying, updating the start menu link. So configuration for MySQL server was successful. So click on finish to continue. All right, so this is what you needed to click on finish. So the product configuration information is what is you can see here. Now the configuration completed. All right, click on next. That's great. You go ahead and finish because you can see here installation complete. All right, Congratulations, your MySQL installation is successfully done in your system. So if you could see in the file system, see program files MySQL. This is a place where you can see shell, server, workbench got installed files. Let's navigate to a bin folder of server, and then take this as a path, because this path variable should be set into your system settings. What I can do now, let's click here, system variables, view advanced system settings, go to advanced environment variables, click on here, and then in the system variable section where you have to see the path, right, variable, so click edit and then choose new entry and then add this complete line. All right, and click OK, OK, and then OK. All right, now what you have to do, like let's launch MySQL Workbench, or if it's already launched, you could see here like MySQL connections. What you do, like you have to establish a connection to your actual server through your MySQL Workbench. So you see here local instance is what we installed, right? Server is on the same machine. So what you can do is like double click in this portion, it pops up to prompt you to actually assign the root password. I think while installation, that the password that you set, same thing you could actually give as an input here. So let me type my password here, my root password. I did that part. Let's click OK. So what it does is, like if it is successfully established the connection, you can see this window. Great. So now my workbench get connected to my SQL server instance, local instance. That's beautiful. Now I can see like there is a system default providing certain tables. Okay, this I think it comes from any installation of my SQL Workbench. You could also see the same. Let's quickly test by doing like select star from sysconfig. Why I'm using select query has a 3 clauses. Star means like trying to pull all the columns of the table. In this under sys schema, I can see the tables, right? You see the table here, sysconfig is a table, and here is the columns, variable, value, set time, set by. Let's not dig into the detail, but let's try whether you are able to perform the select query. So what I will do, select star from sysconfig. All right, so let's hit the button here, it executes, and then if this select query gets executed, then you could see what are the data that is being fetched from this table, right? Let's click on here. You can see some data is coming. That means congratulations, you are able to establish the connection, and also you could run select query. So with that note, that I could see like your MySQL installation completed on your system is ready to use. Let's now explore more on SQL commands. Congratulations guys. Let me add one more concept before I can conclude. Launch the command prompt and then type MySQL space hyphen version, so which actually displays the current version whatever you got installed in your system. MySQL version 8.0.39 for Windows 64, right? This is the MySQL community server under GPL is what we've installed. That's good. So we have done correctly, is it? So now what we can do is like let's log in server through this command line. So let me try this one. Use MySQL, okay, hyphen u as a, this is a root, right? U means user, the user is like a root user, and then minus p means like a password. Hit the button, it prompts you to actually enter the password. So you choose whatever the password that you have given as a input during the installation, right? Same thing that we are using here also. So I am trying to type my password of my local instance. The set 123. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm loud it, but that's okay. So because this is my local server, I think should be fine. Great. Now you can see that best out of this, I can say that like I am able to establish a connection. Now what you can do is like use show databases. What are the databases that are available, right? Databases, and then end with like a semicolon, enter. It shows like a default databases that are available in your DB instance. All right. From the Workbench also, you have seen that how you are actually able to connect database instance. Okay, so this is the two ways that you can interact. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.